Hey guys, and welcome back. As we're all in lockdown, I thought I would do a little different video today to let you guys get to know me that little bit more. If you don't like the talking videos, then feel free to skip this video and go and check out some of my other videos. So I thought I would tell you guys about my very first car. First of all, I hope everyone is staying safe. Let me know in the comments below what you are up to in lockdown. So when I was 17, I started learning to drive. In the UK, you have to be 17 and you have to have a provisional license to learn to drive. I was still at school at the time. I was in full-time education. I was doing my A-levels. I wasn't working at the time. My mum and dad were more interested in me staying on at school, doing well in my exams and getting my qualifications. So I was really lucky and they didn't push me towards getting a job when I was 17. I was learning to drive in my mum's car, which was a Ford Fiesta. And that was the way that I learned to drive. I had lessons with a proper instructor. When I passed my test, I was still at school. My mum let me drive her car for a while. My mum and dad called me downstairs one night and my dad had been working on a sign. My dad's a sign writer and my dad had been working on a sign. My dad handed me a cheque that he had been paid from this sign, and that was for me to get a car. And because I'd done my exams and stuff, it was for that. The cheque was for I think £600, so it wasn't like a whole lot of money. I see a lot of people driving about like their mum and dad's buying them their first car, and mum said that she had saved up a few £100 for me as well. The next thing to come was mum and dad talking about what car I was going to get, and I remember my mum saying that I should get like a Corsa or a Clio or something. At that time it was like the little small ones. Something like that, and I said that I had always wanted a Civic. She knew I always wanted a Civic, but I remember my mum saying to me that a Civic was too quick for me for a first car. I remember so vividly her telling me that it was too quick for me. So it took a little convincing to finally get my mum on board with me getting a Civic. My dad wasn't too hard to persuade. I'm sure a lot of you guys have put together my name on here and on Instagram, which is Vicky, and I'm sure you can work it out between that. That was what I wanted, was a Civic, and I wanted one for a long time. And I didn't know Ryan back then. I didn't meet Ryan until I was about 19. I had no one to really fight my corner and to help me persuade my parents to let me get a Civic. But in the end, dad said that that was okay and mum agreed. Dad started looking for a Civic, and at that time there was only Gumtree and like the free ad paper. It sounds like so long ago. It was 10 years ago, like, but it sounds so long ago. So I remember just flicking through Gumtree like every single day, maybe like 3 or 4 times a day, to see if any new cars had come up for sale that were in my budget. Obviously I didn't have a huge budget time, but I remember seeing like a lot of ek9 reps on Gumtree, and some of them were quite well priced. When I was inquiring about them, they had been sold. My dad, being my dad, knows a lot of people, and he made a few phone calls to some of his friends. He pointed him in the direction of a scrapyard which had just been given a Civic. They were, I think, about to break it or scrap it or something. But anyway, dad got in contact with them and we went to see this car on this Saturday. I remember it. I was so excited. We went to see it on the Saturday. It was so rough. It was just a completely bog standard 1.4 Civic. It had black bump strips. It didn't have anything appealing about it. It had a huge big dent in the boot lid. It had a little bit of surface rust. The inside was dirty. The inside needed cleaned so bad. The outside was completely filthy. Everything about this car was just like telling me no, this was not a good idea. I remember saying to dad when we get into the car, how would I ever be able to drive that car anywhere? Look at it, it is terrible. And I remember my dad saying, like, you can do whatever you want to this car, you can make it look however you want it to look, it doesn't need to look like this. I'll put a picture in here now of what the car looked like when I bought it, sort of, and how bad it was. I'll see if I can find some pictures. So we got it really cheap because obviously it was about to be scrapped. I said to dad, like, what am I going to do? I haven't got any money because obviously I'm still at school. And I said I haven't got any money to obviously do modifications or to do whatever to make this car like even able to go on the road. Like I said, I didn't have Ryan back then, so I had no one to really help me. No one really took any part in my Civic apart from me and my dad. And my dad is not into cars, like really at all. So anyway, my dad's friend was a painter, which was really lucky for me, and I didn't even know this. He said to dad that he would, as a favour to dad, paint my car if we provided the paint and materials and everything he needed. He would do it for very little money. I think my dad did give him money, but he would do it for next to nothing. I wanted to have a white Civic. I sort of wanted to go down the route of an ek9 rep, but then I knew it would cost me too much money. So I just sort of made it nice, really nice, for a really nice first car. Like, we got it painted, got it cleaned up. I said to my dad that the bump strips, I could not have bump strips on the front of the car and on the back of the car, and we searched and searched for bumpers so they didn't have the bump strips. Could not get one back then. Now you can get them so easily. Back then I could not get one at all. Dad said that he would get it sorted, and I didn't know how he would get it sorted, but this is something that I did that probably not many people know that I did back then. I don't think anybody really knows it now either. Like, my dad knows everyone. Anyone who knows my dad will know that everyone knows him, and he has like all these different people that he can get in contact with. But he knew this guy who was a plastic welder, which I didn't even know back then was even a thing. So I left it in my dad's hands. I sort of trusted him. He was the one who was giving me like this money to get my car sorted, so I couldn't really argue with him, and if he was going to get it sorted, I let him do it. So he took my bumpers to a plastic welder. They cut out the bump strips on the front and back bumper, and then they plastic welded them. It did work, and I got the whole car painted. I got the bump strips completely done. I got everything done on the car, and it was so nice. And I was just so grateful that my mum and dad were able to help me out, and it was something that me and my dad got to do together. And it's not very often we get to do anything like that. So that was a really special car to me for that reason. Me and my dad really did spend a lot of time on it. He helped me clean it, and it was really just something kind of special, and I really do wish I had have held on to that car. He really did help me build that car. Just around the time the car got finished, I got a job working in a shop. Just finished school and finished doing my A-levels. It wasn't lowered or anything at that time. Then I met Ryan when I was about 19. So I lowered it, I got a grill for it, got like replica BBSs, and once I had sort of done that, this car came up for sale, which was my Supersonic Blue Civic, as I'm sure some of you have seen if you've been on my Instagram. If not, I'm going to put a picture up now of what it looked like. But when I was, whenever it came up for sale, it was again in not the best condition. It was a 14, but it had a B16 version. It had a lot of work done to it, and it was a really fast car, like for someone who had just like had a 14 to that. It was crazy, but it was such a fun car. I loved it so much. And the engine bay had already been done. Bay was green. It again had black bump strips, and I liked it for a while, but I decided I would get it painted and stuff. But that's a story for another time. That is a completely different car altogether. But I loved my 14 Civic so much. It was a really good first car. Super easy to work out yourself. You could do anything to it. Like, you could, if you want to learn about cars, if you want to learn how to do anything mechanically, if you want to do any changes yourself, literally a Civic is your best option. You can just go onto YouTube and watch a video and you can see what to do. Sold it and my Supersonic Blue Civic at the exact same time to the exact same person, and I regret it every day since I did it. I shouldn't have done it. The money was not even worth it. The car was worth a lot more to me than the money was. If you guys are interested in me going into a lot of detail, because the Supersonic Blue Civic had so much done to it, like, you're not going to believe how much was done to it. Let me know in the comments below and I can do another story time. The funny thing is, I didn't know Ryan, like I said, until I was 19. But Ryan had a 1.4 Civic as well. I remember seeing it once, I think, but I didn't know him. He knew me, he said, but I didn't know him. But funny how these things work out. I really want to just give a big shout out to Ryan, guys, to go and check out his channel if you have 5 minutes. Was doing vlogs and videos and all sorts of stuff and then he stopped for a while. And I would really appreciate it if you guys could just go and check out his channel, give him a bit of support to get the channel back up and running. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're bored, check out some of my other videos, check out Ryan's videos. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you probably tomorrow or the next day, and I will see you in the next one.